Hey guys, what's up? Lightboltjoe here. Today we're going to discuss the 2017 comedy film Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Long Haul. The Long Haul came out in 2017, directed by David Bowers. The only name I knew from this movie, because this is a reboot movie, was Alicia Silverstone. Right? We all know her from Clueless. We all know her from Batman and Robin. 97, it's Batman and Robin. She's been in a billion other stuff. So to her play Susan Heffley, I was interested. Now, when they first announced this movie, the hashtag Not My Roderick started, which is based off of the hashtag Not My President, because of 45's electoral nomination in the 2016 presidential elections in the US of A. We've all seen how lovely that's been. So there was Not My President, then there was Not My Roderick, because when they announced the casting of the new Roderick Heffley, everyone was just confused as all hell because Charlie Wright, who's the actor who plays the new Roderick, doesn't look anything like any of the other family members. And you watch the trailer and you're like, that's not Roderick. That's not my Roderick. Because everyone has assimilated Devin Bostick as Roderick Heffley. Now, the first Wimpy Kid movie came out in 2010, right? So 2010, 2011, 2013 was the three movies. Then 2017 is when The Long Haul came out. So that's 7 years later. So you've had elementary school kids, you've had middle school kids, you have had high school kids, you have had college kids, you've had adults, you have had everyone in between in the 7 years difference between the very first introduction of Roderick Heffley, film-wise, of Devin Bostick, to the 2017 iteration of Charlie Wright's oh my God, the word Roderick Heffley. The word is just not coming to me. See, traumatizing. So there was a lot of bad publicity for this movie, much like how the 2016 Ghostbusters had bad publicity based off the trailer, and then that's why the movie did bad, amongst other reasons, and we've talked about that. But see, that's what's interesting about this particular movie, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Long Haul. Jeff Kinney has the screenplay. Wrote the screenplay along with David Bowers. David Bowers directed the second and third movie, wrote the fourth, co-wrote the fourth, and directed the fourth. It's the same producers as well, whose names I can't remember, who's done the other three Wimpy Kid movies. 2017 marked the 10-year anniversary that the very first Wimpy Kid book came out. So the book came out in 2007. The first movie came out in 2010. It's been a Wimpy decade. We're in year 12 at this point. There's 13 books. It's going to continue on for many more decades to come, and I'm very excited to see it. I've expressed numerous times how I want there to be a college vlog series or something to that extent of the original actors in the first three films, because they're all in their early 20s now, so it would be hysterical to see where they are now. Now, the Long Haul movie doesn't have Fregley, doesn't have Sherrod, doesn't have Patty, doesn't have Holly, doesn't have the staple characters that we're so used to seeing portrayed on screen. You have the basic plot of this movie is the Heffleys are going on a road trip to get to Mima's 90th birthday party. And then there's shenanigans along the way. Greg and Roderick sneak out to go to a Comic-Con type of event. The movie starts out with Greg waving a diaper, accidentally being attached to his hands at a Chuck E. Cheese kind of place. There's a diaper in my hand. So he's known as Diaper Hand Kid. Diaper Hands. And then at this Comic-Con event, he's still known as Diaper Hands. And then, like I said, shenanigans along the way, right? That's the very basic summary. You have the Beardo family, who's comical in the antagonistic front. There are great moments in this film, I'm not going to lie. The story was well written. It's a well-written story. But this cast seemed like it was thrown together. Like the original, and I'm obviously I'm biased towards the original cast because the original cast meshed perfectly. That perfect ensemble of everyone worked so well. They just fed off each other. This rebooted movie felt, you know, like when you're in a middle school or a high school show, like you can't really, like, there's no cuts kind of a thing. Like you audition, but you're going to get casted as an ensemble member kind of a thing. And like, but you're never going to be a main role, but like you have to be in it. That's what this felt like. It felt like the casting department wasn't allowed to like cut people. Like, it just felt like an ensemble was thrown together that, yeah, these people have acting backgrounds, true, but they, like, had to be a part of it. I don't know. That's the best way to explain it. Like, they couldn't get cut because they had to be a part of it because that was an obligation. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but that's what it felt like watching this film. So, like, it was weird watching Alicia play Susan. Like, I'm so used to Rachel Harris playing Susan. Like, Rachel Harris plays a perfect Susan Heffley. If you've read the books, you know the character, right? And I didn't feel that these actors, any of them, had that feel that the characters have. Like, Stephen Zahn is an amazing Frank Heffley. Amazing Frank Heffley. Hilarious. Perfect, sarcastic, witty, lovable, heartfelt, to the T Frank Heffley. Exactly how he is in the books. So I didn't feel that this iteration of this cast actually brought to life the characters that they're meant to be. The original cast definitely does that. That being said, this is a good story. The story is good. Jeff Kinney makes good work. He does a great story. I just feel that if they did the story with the original cast, it would have been 10 times funnier. It wouldn't have done so bad at the box office. Which is all because of the Not My Roderick hashtag. And anytime you still flip through the Not My Roderick hashtag 2 years later. 2 years later, and people are still posting about it. People are pitted. I remember distinctly the joys of the girls on the internet. Let me tell you, the teenage girl on Twitter is just ruling the world. That's the best way to say it. You got to get on the teenage girl on Twitter's good side, and you're good. And there was one day, I can't remember what day, it was like a Friday. It was like, oh, this Friday we're all going to write hashtag Not My Roderick on our wrists. And I did it. I literally did it. I did a hashtag Not My Roderick right on my wrist. And I posted it. And it was hysterical. Absolutely hysterical. Wrist or hand, I don't know, one of the thing. Hysterical. I loved being a part of it. That's the thing with the internet now. And the movie actually touched based on it. Once you go viral, you're viral. And people will remember you, even if it's an obscurity and it's a 15 minutes of fame thing. You're still going to be known forever as that thing. That's your ticket to stardom, is virality. Virality? And what you do with that viral sensation status is sometimes not up to you, but sometimes you can bank off of it and market it. So that was a good point of this story. And that hashtag Not My Roderick truly was a downfall of this movie. Because the movie had potential. But like I said, this ensemble cast just didn't work. Story worked, but the ensemble didn't work. I did laugh a lot of times while watching this movie. I watched this movie twice. I watched it in the theaters. Very mad watching it in the theaters. Hashtag Not My Roderick. But upon recently viewing it, because we've been talking about Wimpy Kid movies recently, I laughed a few times at the fart jokes, at the poop jokes, at the vomit jokes. Slapstick humor is funny. Adventures are funny. These kinds of Heffley family adventures are funny. So I see that they were trying to get to the actors were trying to live true to the character spirit, but it just wasn't. It didn't do it for me. It didn't quite do it for me. So we shall see what happens with the live action Wimpy Kid films. I don't think they're making any more just because of how this one did, which is interesting because Roderick Rules, the second Wimpy Kid movie that came out in 2011, was the #1 movie at the box office opening weekend. $43 million that weekend or something like that. So we'll see how many animated Wimpy Kid movies there are. We'll see what other iterations of the Wimpy Kid franchise we shall see. He's always in the Macy's Day Parade. Greg Heffley has a float, so that's Thanksgiving Day Parade. It's always interesting. What did you guys think about the whole Not My Roderick memeing fiasco, hilarity, if you will? What did you think of the movie Diary of a Wimpy Kid: The Long Haul? Were you as meh about it as I was? I'm sure you were. Let's discuss it. Mucho mahalo, guys.